Right now, there are American soldiers stationed in over 80 countries around the world. They are not there for training. They are not there for show. They are there because the United States has signed treaties, made promises, built alliances that legally require American troops to fight if certain lines are crossed. And right now, in 2025, 5 of those lines are closer to being crossed than at any point since World War II. 5 conflicts that could send American soldiers into combat, cost American taxpayers trillions of dollars, and put American lives at risk. Not because America chose to fight, but because it has no choice. In this video, I am going to show you exactly which 5 countries could drag America into war, why the United States is obligated to respond, how many American troops are already deployed in each zone, and what the Pentagon's actual plan is for each scenario. Everything in this video comes from official Pentagon reports, congressional defense briefings, and publicly available military intelligence. No speculation, no conspiracy, just facts. We are counting down from number 5 to number 1. And number 1 is the scenario that the Pentagon considers the most likely to actually happen. Let's begin. Number 5. Iran. There are currently over 40,000 American troops stationed in the Middle East, in Qatar, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, in Iraq, in Syria. They are already there, and they are already under attack. Since October 2023, Iranian-backed militias have attacked U.S. military bases in the Middle East over 170 times. 170 times. Rockets, drones, ballistic missiles, aimed at American soldiers. 3 American soldiers have already been killed. Dozens have been injured. And with each attack, the pressure on the United States to respond with overwhelming force grows. But the attacks are only part of the danger. Iran controls one side of the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil passes through this narrow waterway every single day. If Iran closes the strait, oil prices double overnight. Every American pays more for gas. The U.S. economy takes a direct hit. And the U.S. Navy is treaty-bound to keep that strait open, by force if necessary. And then there is the nuclear dimension. Iran is now enriching uranium at 60% purity. Weapons grade is 90%. Intelligence agencies estimate Iran could have enough material for a nuclear weapon within weeks. The United States has stated, under every president for the last 20 years, that a nuclear-armed Iran is unacceptable. Not undesirable. Unacceptable. That word matters. Because unacceptable means America would use military force to prevent it. And Iran is closer to crossing that line than ever before. America has already spent over $8 trillion on conflicts in the Middle East since 2001. $8 trillion. Of your money. A full-scale war with Iran would cost trillions more, require hundreds of thousands of troops. And unlike Iraq or Afghanistan, Iran has a real military, a real air defense system, and missiles that can reach every American base in the region. Iran is a powder keg with a short fuse. But it is not even the most dangerous scenario on this list. Number 4 has American troops standing face-to-face with the enemy right now. At this very moment. Number 4. Korea. 28,500 American soldiers are stationed in South Korea right now. Not as peacekeepers. Not as advisors. As a tripwire. That is the actual military term. Tripwire force. It means if North Korea attacks, those 28,000 Americans are immediately in the line of fire. America does not choose whether to respond. The choice is made the moment the first shell falls. North Korea has over 10,000 artillery pieces aimed at Seoul, a city of 25 million people, and a city where tens of thousands of American citizens live and work. Military simulations estimate that in the first hour of a North Korean attack, up to 100,000 people could die, including American soldiers, including American civilians, before a single order is given from Washington. But here is what makes Korea different from every other scenario on this list. North Korea has nuclear weapons, an estimated 50 to 60 of them, and they have intercontinental ballistic missiles that can reach Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. This is not a threat to American soldiers overseas. This is a threat to American cities, to American neighborhoods, to American families. In 2024, Kim Jong-un made the most dangerous decision in 70 years. He declared South Korea a hostile enemy state. He removed reunification from North Korea's constitution. And he deployed tactical nuclear weapons. These are not deterrence weapons. They are battlefield weapons. Small enough to use against troop formations, against bases, against ports where American reinforcements would arrive. Kim is not preparing to negotiate. He is preparing to fight. The United States signed a mutual defense treaty with South Korea in 1953. It states that an attack on South Korea is treated as an attack on the United States. There is no debate. There is no congressional vote. There is no choosing to sit this one out. If North Korea fires, America fights. And with 28,000 American troops already on the ground, they will be fighting within minutes. Not hours. Not days. Minutes. Korea is a nuclear tinderbox with American soldiers sitting directly on top of it. But country number 3 involves a military buildup so massive that it makes North Korea look like a sideshow. Number 3. The Russia-NATO border. There are over 100,000 American troops currently stationed in Europe. The most since the Cold War. They are in Germany, Poland, Romania, the Baltic states. And their number keeps growing. The war in Ukraine has been raging since 2022. So far, American soldiers have not fought directly, but the line between support and involvement is getting thinner every month. America has sent over $175 billion to Ukraine. Russia considers this an act of war. They have said so publicly, repeatedly. But Ukraine is not even the real danger. The real danger is what happens if Russia touches a NATO country. NATO Article 5. The most powerful military commitment in history. An attack on one NATO member is an attack on all 32 members, including the United States, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. These 3 small countries sit directly on Russia's border. Their combined military is smaller than the New York City Police Department. They survive because of one thing: the promise that America will fight for them. Russia is not just fighting in Ukraine. It is preparing for something bigger. Russian defense spending has reached 40% of the federal budget. Weapons factories run 24 hours a day. They are producing more tanks per month than all of Europe combined. Missile production is up 250%. And they have moved tactical nuclear weapons to Belarus, directly on NATO's border. Russian generals have publicly discussed scenarios involving nuclear strikes on European capitals. Not as hypotheticals, as options. If Russia attacks a NATO country, the United States goes to war with a nuclear superpower. Not a regional conflict, not a proxy war, a direct war. between the two largest nuclear arsenals on Earth. The United States and Russia together possess 90% of all nuclear weapons on the planet. A war between them is not just an American problem. It is a civilizational one. Russia and NATO is the scenario that could end the world as we know it. But country number 2 is the one where America has the most to lose. More than any other conflict on this list. And it is happening faster than anyone predicted. Number 2. The South China Sea. And America's oldest ally in Asia, the Philippines. Most Americans have never thought about the Philippines as a place where their sons and daughters might fight a war. But the Pentagon thinks about it every single day. Every single week, Chinese Coast Guard ships confront Philippine vessels in waters that belong to the Philippines. They ram them. They blast them with military-grade water cannons. They block them from resupplying Filipino soldiers stationed on disputed reefs. China has claimed nearly the entire South China Sea. An area of 1.4 million square miles. They have built artificial islands. Put military bases on them. Deployed missiles. Runways. Radar systems. In waters that international law says belong to the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Indonesia. And they are daring anyone to stop them. The United States signed a mutual defense treaty with the Philippines in 1951. It is the oldest alliance America has in the Pacific. Older than the alliance with Japan. Older than the alliance with South Korea. In 2023, the Philippines opened 4 new military bases to American forces. 4 bases. Positioned directly across from Taiwan and the South China Sea. American soldiers, American jets, and American equipment are now stationed closer to China than at any point since the Vietnam War. President Biden stated publicly that the U.S. commitment to the Philippines is, and I am quoting, ironclad. Ironclad. That means if China attacks the Philippines, America fights. $3.4 trillion worth of trade passes through the South China Sea every year. American trade. If China controls these waters, they control the economic lifeline of the entire Pacific. Every product shipped from Asia to America passes through here. Your electronics. Your clothing. Your car parts. And every week, the confrontations get more aggressive. Every month, China builds more. Every year, the risk of a miscalculation, 1 rammed ship, 1 fired shot, 1 dead sailor, gets higher. One mistake in these waters does not just drag America into a conflict with the Philippines. It drags America into a conflict with China. The only country on Earth with the military power to truly challenge the United States. For countries. For potential wars. Each one capable of costing American lives and American treasure. But country number 1. This is the one the Pentagon has called the most consequential military challenge of the 21st century. And it is the one most likely to actually happen. Number 1. Taiwan. The Pentagon has wargamed a Chinese invasion of Taiwan over 20 times. In almost every simulation, the United States gets pulled in. In most of them, it happens within 72 hours. And in several of them, it escalates to nuclear weapons. This is not a distant possibility. US military commanders have testified before Congress that China could be ready to invade Taiwan by 2027. Now here is why every single American should care about an island most people cannot find on a map. Taiwan produces over 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. 90%. These chips are in your iPhone, in your car, in every piece of medical equipment in every American hospital, in every advanced weapons system the US military uses, in every AI system being built right now. If China takes Taiwan, they control the global chip supply. The American economy does not slow down. It stops. The Pentagon's own assessment says a loss of Taiwanese semiconductors would be more devastating to the American economy than the 2008 financial crisis. More devastating than COVID. More devastating than any economic event in modern history. China is not hiding what it is doing. They have built the largest navy in the world. Over 370 warships. more than the United States. They are building nuclear weapons faster than any country on Earth, going from 200 warheads to over 1,000 by 2030. They have deployed hundreds of carrier-killer missiles, designed specifically to sink American aircraft carriers. And they have restructured their entire Eastern Military Command for one single mission: taking Taiwan. Here is America's impossible choice. If China invades Taiwan and America does nothing, the US loses its credibility. Every alliance in the Pacific collapses. Japan, South Korea, Australia, the Philippines. They all lose faith in America's promises. And China becomes the dominant superpower. If America fights, it enters a war with a nuclear-armed superpower. A war the Pentagon's own simulations show would cost the US Navy dozens of ships, hundreds of aircraft, and thousands of American lives in the first weeks alone. There is no good option. There is only a choice between bad and catastrophic, and that choice might come within the next 2 years. 5 countries, 5 potential wars. And here is what makes this moment in history truly unprecedented. These threats are not isolated. They are connected. If America fights in the Pacific, Russia sees an opportunity in Europe. If America is tied down in the Middle East, China sees a window for Taiwan. If 2 conflicts happen simultaneously, the United States military, for the first time in decades, may not have enough forces to fight both. The American military is designed to fight one major war at a time. And right now there are 5 potential wars on the table. The United States is the most powerful country in the history of the world. But power does not mean invulnerability. And the next few years will test American power like nothing since 1945. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 conflicts do you think is most likely to actually involve American soldiers? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I read every single one. And if this video helped you understand what is happening in the world right now, hit subscribe. I break down American military power, global threats, and the geopolitics that affect your life every single week. Next, watch this video, where I break down how the US military would actually fight China. Step by step, the real Pentagon plan. I will see you there.